kibble dust on your face.
You're not gonna give me back my spot?
Gotta have a place to sit. No. I just got up for a second and you took my spot.
Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Alice. I love to chat about money and show you a little bit about my life, and today is more of that life type of video. We are doing the October life reset, which I'm just so excited that it's October finally. That is so fun. Let me get a little drink, I'm kind of sweaty. Before I film, I'm always like running up and down the stairs trying to get everything ready. But anyways, yes, today we are going to reset for October. I'm gonna go over goals, my highs and lows, my reading, what I did in September versus what I wanna read in October. And yeah, maybe just throw in some extra things. What is that? What is going on? Girls. Sorry, Pooh, I didn't mean to scare you. Very chaotic intro. My cats know when I'm filming. All right, let's start with my highs and lows for the month. So I had a lot of great moments this month. I started my new job, which is so exciting. So I went from a smaller company and having like more say and more control to a way bigger company, over 10 times the size of my last company. And I do a more specific role, and there's definitely pros and cons to both jobs, but this current job has all of my non-negotiables, which is very exciting, so I'm very happy to be there. I went from being a marketing coordinator, so coordinating all of our marketing efforts, anywhere from blogs to emails to nurturing to, you know, finding leads, and now I'm a copywriter, which is very fun. I love my new group. I love that it only takes me 15 minutes when traffic is bad to get to work. It's so close to home. It's just like really good work-life balance for me. So that's definitely a high for this month. Another high was that I ran a 5K with my company, which was super fun. It was at 3:30 p.m. It was 80 degrees. I drank like maybe 16 ounces of water that day, so my lips got really dry. I felt horrible. My face was so hot, I wanted to throw up afterwards. But I did it, and I ran like a 10-minute mile, which is pretty good for me. So yeah, that was really fun. Another high was that my sister had a work event at an amusement park here in Utah, and it was so fun. So I'm used to Disneyland, which is like very experience-based, just like the vibes, the food, the fun. This place was very ride-focused. So I went on some absolutely terrifying rides. There's one ride where you go up an elevator, and then you go over like this, so you're upside down hanging by just your thighs. It was absolutely terrifying. So that was a high for me too. That was fun. I'm not an adrenaline junkie. I actually didn't really like the scary rides. I liked more of the fun ones, like the ones where you just swing in a circle, or the ones where it's like a pirate ship and you go like this back and forth. Those are so fun for me. I laughed so hard that I cried multiple times that day. It was super fun. I love my siblings. I love hanging out. My husband also came too. It was just a blast. My absolute low this month actually has to do with the amusement park. I have a very sensitive stomach, and I get very motion sick when it comes to elevators, escalators, going on amusement park rides. Like, I feel horrible. When we went to Disneyland one time, I had to lean over the side of the boat when we were on Pirates of the Caribbean because I was gonna vomit everywhere. I was so sick. Anyway, so I took a ton of motion sick medication before we went to this amusement park, which is called Lagoon. It's like the only one in Utah that's big. And I didn't feel sick at all when I was there, and it was awesome. But then the next morning I woke up, which was yesterday, and I have the worst feeling in my stomach. I feel so nauseous and I feel like I have a bowling ball in my stomach, and I have this like really tight feeling in my throat and a heaviness on my chest, and I'm almost positive it's from the amusement park. And yesterday it made me feel extremely depressed. I was crying a lot, so that was really scary yesterday because I didn't know what was going on. But today I'm more like, yes, I feel like I'm gonna throw up at any moment. I just don't feel good at all. And yesterday was very hard, a very hard mental health day, but that I know it's my stomach. I know it's from the amusement park rides, and although it is extremely difficult and challenging to deal with feeling this way, I don't like feeling depressed. I'm someone who has anxiety, and I do prefer anxiety over depression, which is like crazy to say. Do you prefer one horrible experience over another? But I just have way more tools, way more support, and way more experience with anxiety, so I feel much more comfortable handling it. But all the crying and all the helplessness and the hopelessness and the like overwhelmed, irritable, angry like feelings of having my stomach hurt and just that causing me to feel depressed, it just was not a good day. And today is much better. The fact that I got up and I like went to the store and I went and did stuff and I'm filming is just such a win for me. Very high highs, very low lows, and I am excited for October, and I'm just excited to chill, to have family come into town, to relax, to have fun, to do my thing, to have the crisp cold weather. I'm just excited for that. But now let's move on to my goals. So let's go over my goals that I had for September. So let me pull these up real quick. Okay, my number one goal is to invest $1,000 post-tax. Now this is because I'm at a new company. I cannot invest for the first 90 days, which means that I want to make sure that I'm still investing and I want to be investing our post-tax dollars. I am getting paid more because I am not able to invest, so I'm getting more in my paycheck. Also, I got over a $10,000 raise with this new company, which is amazing. So I'm trying to use that money into invest post-tax. The month is not quite over yet. We still have a few days. So I've not quite done this yet. We've invested $400 and we do have $600 extra dollars in our account that is just going to go towards investing. So I'm going to check that one off actually because we're definitely going to hit it. We have that extra money and that's great. Okay, my second goal was to host a friends get together. Now I checked this one off. It wasn't like a big friends get together. I feel like I always have to give you guys backstory on everything that happens in my life, but my best friend in the entire world, well, it's not like my childhood best friend, it's like my best friend that I had once I became an adult. She is just like hung out all the time. We were just having such a good time. I really love her. Anyways, her and her husband moved, which is so sad for me and my husband because they like to watch football together and stuff. So anyways, it's very sad to lose those friends, and basically I have been hanging out with no one really on a regular basis. It feels so comforting to have a friend where it's like we're gonna hang out every single Friday or Saturday night, because then if you don't do anything the other nights, it's like it's fine, I already have this friend, like we're gonna hang out, it's great. And I checked this one off. It wasn't a huge friends get together like a girls night where I had like 7 girls over. It was just my husband's friend and his wife, and we had them over. We watched a football game and then we went to their house so they could put their kid down and we continued watching the football game. We ate ice cream. It was super fun. So I am going to check that one off for all intents and purposes, or all intents and purposes. Okay, let's see. My next one was to create a workout plan. So I canceled my gym membership. It cost $42 to do so. And that is because my new place has a gym in it. It's a very small gym, but it's really clean. It's really nice and safe. At my old gym, there was all these posters that said like, smile when you're on camera, we're not in charge of what happens to your car, make sure to bring all your valuables with you, like don't leave anything out of sight. So it's really unsettling to work out there. And this new place, like it's very small, so I can just leave my backpack with all my stuff in it and it's never out of my sight. It's been a huge upgrade, but basically my old gym was so sketchy that I never wanted to work out, so I didn't really have a good workout plan in place. So this flexible workout plan is where I run a few times a week. I do 1 arm day, 1 leg day, and then I have to work out my hips because my hips are so weak that when I run, my hips dip on each side and it just destroys my form. Okay, and then the fourth goal I had was to bake a fall treat, and I did it. I made these delicious cinnamon rolls and I took them to a friend's house for dinner and it was such a win. I love that. Okay, let's set October's goals together. So you'll notice my goals aren't like that crazy and that hard all the time. And that's because a lot of my goals in the past have turned into habits. And once I have a goal that's a habit, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I have to set more goals now and make those habits even harder and more unattainable. For example, I used to set goals that I would read 2 books a month. Now I read all the time. It doesn't need to be a goal anymore. I used to have goals to run. I just love running now, so I run. I don't need to set a harder goal to push myself even more to eat even more fruits and vegetables, or run even more, or read even more, because I just feel like we forget how much we're actually doing in our lives. I feel like when we set all these goals, we neglect the fact that we have become the person that our past self wanted us to become. So I don't need to be setting 10 to 15 goals if a lot of my past goals are now habits. So I really try to use goal setting as a way to enrich my life instead of to punish myself. So my goals for this month, for October, are to dress up for Halloween. I love dressing up for Halloween, but I never plan for it because I don't like spending money. So I am going to set aside money in our budget this month for us to dress up for Halloween, because we are going to a Halloween party. It is a Halloween party that starts at 4 and ends at 7 because our friends have kids, but like still so fun. I'm really excited. Okay, my second goal is to decorate the front porch. Again, I love decorating for Halloween, but I never want to pay for it. So I'm gonna set aside money in the budget to do so. Really, all I want is a bale of hay and a lot of pumpkins. So that shouldn't be too bad. Okay, and then my third goal is to get a new phone. So yes, I need a new phone. Do we ever really need anything? I don't think so. This is so good. I went to the T-Mobile store and had such a weird experience. It basically made it seem like they didn't want me to buy the phone, and I have a really hard time shopping anyways. I'm not a very good shopper, so I struggled to make an like actually make the purchases. So I went into T-Mobile really confident, saying, okay, I'm gonna go and buy a phone. And then they talked to me in a way that made me feel so dumb that I was like, I'm not buying a phone. And then my husband like hyped me up again. I need to call my dad and have him order the phone and us pay him back because we're all on the same plan. I have an iPhone 11 and it was a hand-me-down from my mom. I've been using it for 4 years. She used it for a few years before that. So I just think it's time for me to get a new phone. And I've never bought a phone before. I've only ever used hand-me-downs before. So yeah, but those are my 3 goals for this month. And again, they're not like super push, super stretch goals for me. They're just goals to enrich my life because I am already doing so much. I work out, I run, I work for 8 hours a day, I read, I eat fruits and vegetables, like I drink water and all these things. So I feel like I'm already doing quite a bit. I don't need to be setting crazy goals. Okay, let's move on to the reading portion of this video. So I am kind of in a little bit of a reading slump, like a little itty bitty baby reading slump right now. I have DNF'd a few books this month, which never feels good if you invest in a book and then you don't end up liking it. But let's go over the books that I did read that I did love. So I read Assistant to the Villain and it was a 3, maybe 4-star read. I can't remember what I rated it, but anyways, I love the setting and I also love how unique the story is. Just like with the protagonist being a literal villain, like I don't know, I just really liked that. I did feel like the book was less of a storyline and a plot and more of just a conglomerate of loosely related short stories. So I didn't love that aspect, but overall it was a great like spooky fall vibes read and I really just loved the village setting. If the setting is really good for me, I'm like such a sucker for a good setting. Okay, moving on, I finally read The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. So heartwarming. I loved it so much. I totally get why people are in love with that book. It was amazing. Again, I can't remember what I rated it because it was at the beginning of this month before I did all my DNF books, but I think I rated it maybe a 4 or 5 star. It was just so cute. I loved it. I loved the love story. I loved the characters. I love when there's such good, relatable, loving characters. I really enjoyed it. I didn't see the twist coming. I thought that was great. Let's go over the books that I did not finish. And I'm not saying that these books are horrible. I'm just saying these books were not for me. First book I did not finish was The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I just kept reading it and then I was like, I got like 100 pages in and I was like, where's the love interest? I feel like I've been ruined by reading so many rom-coms that are only 335 pages that if within 10 pages there's no like love interest, I'm like, this is boring. Where's the love interest? So, okay. And then the second book I had as an audiobook on Libby and it was like, oh, it's gonna expire soon. And I was like, good, let it expire. I don't really care. And that was the book, The Happy Ever After Playlist by Abby Jimenez. First of all, I really did like the characters and I love her writing so much. I think she's such an amazing author, but for me, so I'll do this sometimes where a book is not really at its end yet, but I've decided that it's over and I've gotten what I need out of that book. And so that's kind of what I feel like this Happy Ever After playlist was. I got 50% of the way through the book and I was like, okay, it's done. Like it's done for me. I feel satisfied with the storyline for these characters. I did the same thing with the second Heartless Hunter book. I finished 85% of it and then I was like, okay, it's done. Like I'm happy with how it ended, even though it wasn't over. That's just kind of how I see some books. Okay, yay, let's go over my October TBR. Oh my gosh, I forgot to say that I am currently reading The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston and I do not like it, but that is okay. It's like an enjoyable, really cute setting. I think that's why I'm staying, is because I love the setting so much. Okay, now let's go on to my October TBR. So let's see what I want to read in October is The Heartbreak Hotel. I just think it has really cute fall vibes on the outside. No idea if it's actually an autumn read, but it's about a girl who gets broken up with and in order to afford her rent, she decides to turn it into a bed and breakfast, which is super cute and obviously like mysterious landlord kind of guy. So I'm really excited for that. Book club in this month, it is the Just Don't Fall. It's a hockey romance. Yeah, the books that we read for the book club are not usually books that I would ever pick up on my own. I will stick with them because they're a book club book and I do love a good book club. Okay, then the third book on my TBR, which actually should be like the first book on my TBR, but it's just not ready at the library. There's like 25 people on hold for it, is The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. So I am notorious for not reading Goodreads reviews or seeing the average like stars that people rate a book on Goodreads because I want to be pleasantly surprised. I feel like that makes the book even better. But I have been burned a lot. So I see Pumpkin Spice Cafe has about like a little bit less than a 4-star on Goodreads. So we'll see if it's good. I just have heard so much about it. I really want to read it. And it's okay if nothing really happens as long as the romance is cute, then I'm good. Okay, and then the last book on my TBR for October is Good Girl, Bad Blood. So I think that's by Holly Jackson. My husband and I, we just finished the series, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Now, I did read that book last year, I think. One of my top shows ever. I thought it was so good. When I first originally watched the trailer, I was absolutely taken back by the fact that they had British accents. I thought it was like everyone was in America because it was set in America, but it was the American version, and the British book version got made into the show, so that's why it was British. And you guys, the show was so good. And the good thing about me is I have really low reading comprehension, so I couldn't remember a thing. So it was like everything was new to me. I loved it. And apparently they're making a second season of that show, so I wanted to read the second book in the series. I have no idea if the second season of the show is going to be based off that book, but if it is, I'm gonna read it. Will I remember anything? Probably not. I literally can't remember things that I read. Okay, that is it. Thank you guys so much for joining me on my October life reset. I hope you guys have the greatest October of your life. I'll see you guys later. Bye.